Hi guys, it's me, Danielle, Danny Buttons, and I'm here today with my finished coloring pages from the month of August. So I finished 15 pages, and that may sound impressive, but 10 of them were color by numbers, and then 5 of them are others, and I want to show them to you. So, I have mentioned these books as often as I can. I love them. They are French coloring books that I purchased on Amazon UK, and they're all mystery colors. I'll show you a blank page, and you just have all of the numbers are up there. That's all the colors. Also, Samuel's in the room with me playing on his computer. If you hear him, I'm sorry, but he's trying to be quiet. He's doing good. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you get the blank page, you get your colors, and you just have to figure it out. I love these books. I have 5 of them, but one of them is Pixar, and it's a little bit different from the rest of them. But my goal is to complete all these books. My goal is at least 10 a month from these books, and I hit it in August. I did 10. So this is volume 1. I did Flower. So my favorite part of doing these is probably the black outline. I outline in a Tombow dual tip marker in black, and then I color it in a whole bunch of different mediums. Recently I've been using Crayola color pencils because honestly they're cheap, and depending on how much of each color, you definitely go through a lot of the pencil. So I don't mind using up the Crayola. If I need to sharpen it 6 times, that's what I do. But I've been picking my pictures either based on the movie I just recently watched. I've also mentioned this before, but in case this is my first video, or the first video of mine you're seeing, mention it again. In December, we're going to Disney World for our honeymoon. So I've been trying to rewatch all of the Disney movies throughout the last year. So I watched Bambi, and then I did this page. Then I remembered, well, I actually posted everything today. Yay. This is Stitch. My backup plan, if I don't want to just pick based on the movies I've seen recently, I also decided to kind of have a mini theme for each month. So for August, I was doing water-themed movies and pictures. So Lilo and Stitch is on an island. There's water all over, so I did this page. And there's actually a speed color of this page up on my channel. It's so crazy, the speed coloring. I just filmed it on my phone and did the time-lapse through the phone. So I didn't edit it in any other way. So it condensed about an hour and a half of work to a 3-minute video. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it in that way again, but it's a lot of fun. I love time-lapse, so it's a lot of fun to watch. Check it out if you haven't. That's this one. I also use Crayolas for this one and my marker. I also don't really worry too much about blending or making everything super duper even. I just love to see the characters. I feel like these books do a great job of characters you don't see every day in coloring books. Like Flower from Bambi. I've never seen a picture of him. Yeah, so there's that one. That's it from book 1. For some reason, these are not in order. I'm gonna very quickly put these in an order I want them in. Hold on. Yes, okay, so volume 2. Volume 2 may be my favorite. Volume 2 has all of the new movies, I think. No, I've lied. Volume 3 has all the new movies. Volume 2 has Winnie the Pooh. Volume 1 did not. So I really like this one, and I tend to just gravitate towards pictures in this one. So my goal is to finish this one first. Also, if you do end up blending a lot, sometimes you can get rub off on the next page, depending on the type of pencils you use. A lot of people do use marker in here, but I don't want them to go through. You can see that you can almost see some shadowing. Once I actually color this page, it won't be a big deal. But I don't have many markers, so I haven't been able to do that anyway. But here is Scuttle to go along with my sea-themed month, and also I had just watched this movie. So Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie of all time, and Ariel is my favorite princess. Recently, she's kind of been competing with Rapunzel, but it's hard for me to make that decision. So far, she's still way up there. So, yes, I thought this came out real cute. I like Scuttle. Then the very next page is, oh yeah, so these are just pages I slipped through to keep them from rubbing. And this is actually, I accidentally printed like 60 pages of coupons. It was very random. I meant to cancel it and it didn't cancel. So I have a whole bunch of pages of coupons that have expired. So I use that. Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. I also really love this movie. I think this is a little bit underrated. It's newer, so it's not as underrated as some, but I really enjoy this movie. So that's that one. And then finally in this book was Flounder and the Shark. This one, as I'm sure you're seeing, came out a little bit greener than I wanted. Sometimes it's hard to match the colors because when you're pressing hard to like do your little swatch, it comes out a lot darker against the number than when you actually do the whole background. So the waters are a little bit polluted, but I still think it looks pretty good. And it is green. It's just not supposed to be olive green. But sometimes even with the 100 Crayolas, I still have trouble matching the colors, which is, it's something. I don't know. Okay. Volume 3. This is the book that has all the new movies. So I think from like all the movies from 2012 on are in this book. This book also has a ton of Peter Pan and the Fairies spin-off movies, so like all the Tinkerbell movies. I think there's 15 pages of the 100 are either fairies or Peter Pan related, which is a little bit crazy, but Baby Moana. I did this as a color-in chat. I did half of this. And again, as you can see, it's pretty streaky. It's not perfectly done, but I really just love these pictures. So that's what's important to me, is getting the pictures done. I did Flash from Zootopia. Sometimes too, if you are doing these books or any color by number and you're not finding an exact match, you kind of have to look at where it is to see how much it matters. So for instance, the background of Flounder with his polluted water did kind of matter, but this background doesn't matter as much. It's just the wall behind him. So if it's a little bit off, do not stress about it. That's what I do. And then I just watched Up, and that's Ellie from Up. My goodness, this is a sad movie. I think that I hadn't seen it in a while, and I forgot just how sad it was. So, whew, I cried like 6 times. Okay, and then the last of these is, I think this is called, this is translated to Optical Illusion. Hopefully, I looked it up once and that's what it told me. But I'll show you a blank page in this book. But basically, the characters are already here and it's going to turn into a different character. So, on one hand, it kind of makes it harder to see the lines because obviously these lines are here. But on the other hand, usually it's a lot fewer colors. A lot less colors. So that's helpful. And that gives me the chance to use markers. But yeah, so here's one I did not do this month, but a really good example of I got to use markers since there was only 10 colors. But you can see Ursula entirely. So I'm 50-50 on this book. But okay, I did Nani from Lilo and Stitch. Ooh, my shirt matches pretty good. There's her. It's always funny when like a character has black hair or a large part of the character is black that they like outline it in another color. So that gets kind of confusing when I'm trying to do my coloring. But and Sebastian. I went on a Little Mermaid kick and did 3 in a row. So there's Sebastian, and you can see there's Belle and Beast in the background. Sometimes I don't really notice even if they're there, like I showed my friend and he's like, oh wow, you can see the background really strongly. But no, I focus on Sebastian. These are also a little bit bigger than normal coloring books, I feel. Not too much actually, but they feel nice and big. Yes, so that was my 10 this month from those books. Hopefully I'll have 10 more next month. Okay, this one. Mermaids in Paradise. Samuel got this for me for my birthday or Christmas. I think my birthday. And this is the only page I've done in it. And I messed this page up real good. So, I wanted to do something simple, and I wanted to use my Inktense because this is really nice thick paper and it's one-sided. So I figured it was a great chance to practice with my Inktense. I did all the Inktense. I think it came out pretty good. I'm still trying to learn how to like shade with them, mix the colors with them, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then I was like, wow, people are doing such cool things with backgrounds. Maybe I can use some of my scrapbooking supplies to make my own background. So I have these sprays that I was hoping to use to make a background, but I didn't want it to get on the mermaid. So I decided to try to cover it with Post-its. I wonder if you can tell exactly where the Post-its were covering. I think you can. So I did that. I saw exactly where the Post-its were covering and realized I had made a mistake. So then I tried to take them off and spray anyway, and now her hair's kind of green. So this was kind of a fail, but at least I did something in this book. So, okay. Hamelin time. I love Hamelin. This is the first page I did in this one, and I did it as a color along with Brittany, and now that I'm here, I can't remember her Instagram name. It's like B-Max. I'm sure you all know her if you're in any of the coloring groups on Facebook, because she's very active in there. So, I'll try to link it below, but we did this as a color along. I hope that my thing is not getting interrupted. I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications, but it says we're still filming, so hopefully we're good. Yes. I don't know what to really say about this. I did the background. That gray is a marker, and then everything else is Prismacolor pencils. I blended everything except her tattoos because they're just one single color. I think I'm kind of getting better with skin tone. I'm trying. This book is one of the ones that is on Create Space. So if you blend too close to any of the marker or the line work, it will smudge. So be careful of that, especially on skin. But for the pirate, it was okay to be a little dirty because she's out on the open sea. So I really like how the water came out. There's that one. It's the only one I've done in there. I'm thinking of doing another one and painting the background in acrylics because I really want to paint more with acrylic. I have a whole bunch from my other crafting, but I haven't done it that much. Okay, then I have two in this one. My friend in my, best friend in real life, one of my besties, she's my matron of honor, also colors, and we have a whole bunch of Hamelin books that we both have. So every month we pick a book and pick a few pages to do that we both do. So this month, or in August, it was Fairytale Princesses. So we did 2 pages from in here. So this was my pick. I don't remember what it's actually called, but I call it Jasmine. I think it's like Magic Carpet Ride or something like this. This was the first time I tried wet medium in Hamelin books, and it made some nice crinkle paper. I love that noise. Ooh. So in the sky, I tried my Inktense some more, and I think the ground is Inktense, and then everywhere else, well, all the gold is Wink of Stella. Can you see that it's gold? And then everywhere else is regular Kuretake watercolors. And I really love watercolors, especially for small detail, because sometimes it gets really tedious with pencil to like get in every little detail. But with watercolor, you just go shoop and you're done. So, yeah, I think she came out pretty good. I'm still learning all skin tones, but definitely not as much practice on darker skin tones either. But I think it's okay, maybe. For all my skin tones, I really just use 2 colors. So I'll use like peach and light peach or light ochre. Is that the color? And regular ochre. Sienna. Stuff like that. I just use the same color, has the same name, and one's light and one's dark. And that's all I know how to do so far. And then we did, this one's called Waiting for Peter. So that's Wendy Darling. And I just watched this movie today, actually, Peter Pan. But I think this came out pretty good. I actually have a half color in chat for this video too. This was my first color in chat. So if you are interested, check that out, please. And this is one of the only books that I date, because all the rest of them I have on Instagram anyway, but especially since there's 2 of each, and I hope to one day go back and do the second half, I like to date this. This is almost all pencil, but I did the tiny little flowers are actually mild liner highlighters, because I was like, oh, this will be quick and easy. And then there's a tiny bit of gold. I always go to my gold when I'm getting lazy at the end, so gold down there. Like, ugh, I have such trouble with the tiny details. So I kind of have to pace myself, and I'll like let myself do the moon because it's big, and then I'll force myself to do the little characters. Then I'll let myself do the background because it's big, and then I'll force myself to do the quilt. Okay, and last but not least, Romantic Country. This page is the new page. This page was already done. But yes, this page is the first time I actually used my watercolor Kuretake in Romantic Country. And it went well. There's no bleed through or anything. So I started with my Prismacolors on the grass and the tree itself and the tablecloth. And then I went in with my watercolor on everything else. So all the leaves are watercolor. The cake, I think, is watercolor. I can't tell now. I'm trying to feel, because you can kind of feel the texture difference. The banner is definitely the watercolor, including the shiny metallic bronze. And he ended up being watercolor because, again, at the end, I'm like, ugh, details, watercolor, watercolor. So, yeah, that's it. There we go. Those are all my completed pages for the month. I'm going to start uploading this and get to coloring something new right now. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!